poked away, picked up by Andre from three-quarters court, and he hit it! He had his eyes on the prize and let it fly!
What's going on, all you Tanimals out there? It's another edition of the Tanndemonium Sports Show, part of the Vendetta Sports Media podcasting network, streaming live exclusively every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch TV. Go to twitch.tv/VendettaSportsMedia to not only catch the Tanndemonium Sports Show every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, but also to catch many, many more amazing Vendetta video content. It is I, as always, your host of the Tanndemonium Sports Show, Bryan Tan, and with me as always, well, he's definitely not the Melvin Ingram to my TJ Watt, that's for sure. Jefferson Legal himself, Jackson Law. J Law, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. I'm tired. It's been a busy day, but it was a good sports week. It was a good sports week.
It's a very interesting sports week, and it's a pretty fun sports week in the NFL. Because we've had some trades. There's a couple of trades.
Trade deadline was today.
Yeah, as of 2.5 hours ago. We're going to talk about some of the more notable trades and not trades that were made. But I want to lead off this episode tonight. Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III, 22-year-old kid. He's being charged with DUI resulting in death. This was up on the NFL.com website. You can check it out. Henry Ruggs will be charged with DUI resulting in death of another person following his involvement in a traffic collision at 3:39 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday in Las Vegas. So that was 3 a.m. today, just 13 hours ago. Officers responded to a traffic collision involving a Chevrolet Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. Responding officers located the Toyota RAV4 on fire, and fire department personnel located a deceased victim inside the Toyota. That was a quote, a deceased victim inside the Toyota, end quote. Ruggs, who remained on the scene, he, quote, showed signs of impairment. Now, J Law, we were talking about this a little bit before we went on the air. I'm saying that his career is over before it could even begin, but you did make the counterpoint that because if he's being charged, chances are he's going to do some. He's got to do some time. He'll
do something, and I mean, you obviously made a good point where he'll easily probably make bail because he's going to have the money to do that. He could. I don't know if he'll avoid jail time. I know sometimes athletes get special treatments in these scenarios, but you know, when it involves the accidental death of someone else, when you were being an idiot, like drinking while intoxicated, I don't know what, and I also don't know what Nevada law is. With this too, but I think I saw also where it may be a federal crime that he's done. If it's a federal crime, then he could spend time in prison.
An actual federal plot. Well, yeah. I just looked this up. This is courtesy. It's on shouselawcom. Felony DUI in Nevada. Vehicular homicide. If they charge him with vehicular homicide, is when a person commits DUI causing death, and the person has at least 3 prior DUI convictions. Now here comes lawyer guy Trey. He wears a lot of hats. He wears a lot of hats in this company. It's 2 years minimum in Nevada. Now, of course, vehicular homicide, if he has 3 or more, So we don't know if this is the Las Vegas King, legal guy Trey. Now, here's the thing.
Big Unk Law Firm.
Yeah, Big Unk Law. Big Unk attorneys at law. Now, we don't know how many DUIs he has on his record.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm sure there's going to be way more that comes out. But if he has 3, he's done because he could face up to 25 years in prison. It's a felony at that point. But I mean, vehicular homicide, I believe it is still bottom line is, I think his career might be done. I mean, let's just be kind and say he only does 5 years. He gets out when he's 27. Now he's got to go through the legal loopholes of being
reinstated back
on parole. Being reinstated back into the NFL while being on parole.
If he's under house arrest, does he have to wear the anklet while he's at games? Sorry, that's a terrible.
But it's a question. I mean, it's one of those questions. That's one of the things that they would actually have to hash out.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of teams looking to go through all that. Because I mean, you look at the Greg Hardy situation. The NFL still has the Greg Hardy situation thrown in its face, and rightly so. But especially when you look at what happened with Colin Kaepernick and how he was kept out of the league. And a lot of folks were saying, but you let Greg Hardy back in. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't do anything whenever things happened with Lawrence Taylor. Or the list goes on and on and on of professional athletes with behavior that is
Didn't criminal. Ray Lewis potentially kill a guy?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And they're just like, you know what, though? But that was kind of an iffy thing. And the suit did end up missing. So it's okay. You can.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why Ray Rice got kicked out of the league was because there was video.
There was a video of it.
I remember watching that video.
Yeah.
And
I was listening to someone, they were talking about it recently. And it was like the NFL initially only gave him a 2-game suspension.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, we can't get the video. We're only going to give him a 2-year suspension. And then it got released on the internet, and Goodell is like, well,
Raymond,
we gotta up that a little bit.
Well, Raymond Aloysius, looks like you ain't playing,
but
ever.
I mean, if let's say, because again, lawman Trey Big Unk attorney at law says that the minimum is 2 years. Let's say he gets the minimum, or let's say that after a year in prison, he gets out like good behavior. He's on parole, and all that jazz. Because again, if you have money in this world, even if you're a criminal, doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have a lot of money, sometimes you can skate around things like this. Like
we've seen that a lot. We've seen that a lot over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, you and I, if we were in this situation, there's no question we're in prison for 2, maybe 5.
Oh, we've done like
Trey is saying if someone died, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm pessimistic about the human race. If he's only 24, 25 years old.
Well, Dante Stallworth killed a guy with his car.
Yeah,
so I like to think that the NFL is going to try to learn from its mistake. The NFL is a huge PR. I don't think they will either.
There is going to be, let's say, if all of this happens,
they thought he was. They thought Dante Stallworth was drunk.
Yeah, see,
he got lucky.
I think
if I recall correctly, Dante Stallworth was under the limit. If I recall correctly, I don't remember.
I fully do think that there is going to be an NFL franchise out there 2-3 years from now, however many years is let's say he gets out of prison, he's still in shape. They're going to give him at least a tryout. And if he performs well and they've got him on like a super cheap contract and he can be productive, someone's going to end up signing him.
Dante Stallworth pleaded guilty to DUI manslaughter and faced 15 years in prison. However, he was sentenced to 30 days in jail, but then only served 24 and then 2 years of house arrest.
See?
So
maybe he didn't have to wear the anklet.
Maybe not. Maybe
a parole officer just has to be present at all times, like the sideline.
Or he might have pulled a Roman Pierce in Too Fast, Too Furious and just lived in a mobile home and parks really, really close to the stadium. Who knows?
And since it's his home, he can travel. So he travels with the team. He just hops. He's like, I'll see you guys. We're in Seattle this week. Next week we're in Arizona. I'll see you guys in Phoenix.
We're gonna be he's gonna be driving the mighty Lex Express. Yeah, but I mean, it's horrible that a person lost their life due to these machinations, and hey, you're gonna have to own up to it. Although I don't know with the political climate and with the climate of people as it is today, I don't know if he gets that same slap on the wrist though. I don't, but we'll see. We'll keep our eyes on this story. We'll update it as we can. Let's get to something that we can joke about and it's not off color or kinda. Let's talk the NFL trade deadline, shall we? Deshaun Watson still on the Texans roster. Miami and the Texans were doing a lot of talking, but Miami could not get that legal situation. They couldn't get that clause to protect them in the case that Deshaun Watson's legal stuff didn't work out the way he wanted.
Yeah.
So he's still on their roster.
I don't know how Tua continues to play for this organization, man, because it also came out that yesterday, Stephen Ross, the owner, was having a conversation with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? If I'm Tua, I'm pulling a Melvin Ingram, a James Harrison,
get me out of here.
A LeGarrette Blunt. I'm like, get me out of here.
Listen, if they do end up trading Tua, or if Tua does if behind the scenes he's like, I want out of here, I don't blame him. He's been shown no love. He has had the shortest leash of any of the rookie quarterbacks of the past 2 years.
In his draft class, yeah. I mean, God, Sam Darnold got how many years to stink?
Well, it's
matter of fact, not even Sam Darnold. Let's take it to. I can't even throw Mitch Trubisky in there because he had Matt Nagy as his coach. I mean,
I got a stat for you here. I got a stat line right here. We're gonna play guess the QB. All right.
I can't wait. I love playing games.
Guess the QB. We are comparing the first. How many is that? 13 starts. The first 13 starts of Tua and then this other quarterback. And it's a really good quarterback. I'll give you an opening hint at that. Really good quarterback. All right. Both records. Both went 7-6.
Okay.
Right. Tua, completion percentage 65.5. Mystery QB 55.4.
Ooh.
Touchdown to interceptions. Tua, 18 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Mystery quarterback, 12 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Giveaways. So this is just turnovers in general, so including fumbles. Tua, 10 giveaways. Mystery quarterback, 18 giveaways. Who is our mystery quarterback?
Ooh. So when you gave me the completion percentage, I almost said Brett Favre. Now, is this a retired quarterback or
current in the league? Current in the league and
good quarterback.
And is a really good quarterback, yes.
Of the last 13 starts.
Of just of their first 13
starts
of their career. Comparing their first, not Matt Stafford. I'll give you another hint. They're a young quarterback.
Josh Allen. Huh. That was going to be my next guess.
Exact, if not better stats. Now, imagine Josh Allen has these stats through his first 13 games, and Buffalo says, "We don't want him. He's done. He's garbage. We are looking other places and moving on." I don't get people. Like, he has not been loved by the fans. He has not been loved by the coaching staff, but the coaching staff has done no favors for him. And I initially liked when Memphis moved back from no one besides Trey like Josh Allen, though, as a rookie. So, well, Trey, that's obviously false because the Bills liked him and they drafted him.
That's true. Oh, gotcha there.
The Bills as an organization, there's at least enough in there, enough people in there that liked him that, however they do their draft process, they drafted him. So there's the hole in that logic. But where is it going? Yeah, they have not built an offensive line it is a terrible offensive line. I remember I was saying that I was okay with them moving back from 3 to like 12 because there would have been a good serviceable receiver that they could have gotten or skill position player or whatever to support Tua because they were also adding draft capital as well. But then they go from 12 to 6, I think it was, or maybe 10 to 6. They could have had Devontae Smith because that's what the Eagles ended up getting. And now we owe the Eagles. I say we, like I'm part of the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I'm
like you're on the payroll.
I want to listen. If I was on the payroll, we probably would at least have 3 wins right now. Okay, that's how incompetent that organization is going right now. This Miami organization, but the Eagles now have a great chance at landing the top 3 pick because Miami's just garbage. The team does not want to play anymore. Brian Flores has lost that locker room. Chris Greer, the GM, he needs out.
That's crazy to me. How do you lose a locker room? Because remember this time last year, we were talking about how these guys will run through a wall for Flores because of all the because he got on the field and was about to fight for his guys.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, we don't want to play for you no more, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the rumors and stuff coming from the locker room that and then I also think it's like the culture that's being built there. It's like I get that it's a business. So but there is a proper way I think to run a business, and I think the best businesses, regardless they run themselves like a business, still treat their employees like people, even in unfortunate circumstances where people have to get laid off or, for whatever reason, they still people still look fondly back at working there because they were treated like a person instead of a worker. I think Miami has taken this win now, build something, build now, win now approach. And the second you screw up, you're gone. And it doesn't matter if Miami has backed you or agreed to a contract with you, they will cut you in a heartbeat. They'll sign you to a $40 million deal and they'll cut you before they owe you $5 million.
Right.
That's
insane.
It is insane. Well, that's what happened. That's what happened last season with I'm forgetting his name. He plays for the Patriots now. He was with the Patriots, came over. Oh shoot, who is that? Hold on a sec.
I mean, but the whole point, I mean, you're making a really, really good point.
I'll look it up real quick. You go.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you're making a really good point.
Kyle Van Noy. That's who it was.
Kyle Van Noy. Okay.
Kyle Van Noy. Yep.
Well, the crazy thing,
$50 million year deal or $50 million contract. They cut him after the first year.
Right. And the crazy thing is, though, is that the Dolphins, they're trying to do this build now, win now mentality, but they're forgetting how to win. Like they're
forgetting how to build.
Yeah, they're not building, they're not winning. It's just a complete and utter waste of time. And you're right. If I'm Tua, I want out. I'm done.
I want to say he's also had 4 different play callers because the offensive coordinator is not the play caller right now.
Right.
It's someone else.
If I'm Tua, you know where I want to go? I either want to go to Denver because you've got Denver's not great right now at all. But with that draft compensation that they're getting from trading Von Miller, which we're going to talk about in a moment, plus you've got one of the best quarterbacks of all time in that front office, and Mr. John Aloysius Elway.
Oh, he's a great quarterback, but he's not been great at evaluating quarterback talent.
That's very, very true. That's very true. That's why I go to him like, look, man, I don't want to know how to GM. I don't want to know how to scout because you suck at that. But help me with my game.
For Tua, I think New Orleans would be really good. Or
New Orleans would be wonderful.
Yeah,
New Orleans would be wonderful for him.
Trey just even said it right there. I just saw it pop up. Yeah, there it is.
Oh my God, New Orleans would be so.
New Orleans would be great. Honestly, I like what Washington is building too. So I think Washington could be a good spot. I think they're really building on the defense.
Well, you think Ron Rivera will be able to be a good quarterback whisperer to him?
I mean, I don't know, but I think Tua's got the natural talent, though.
All right, so real quick before we move on to our other trade news, you're the GM of number one. If you're the Dolphins, you definitely trade him out of conference. You definitely are trading him to the NFC, right?
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
So who do you think you would get the most from? Like, do you trade to do you go to New Orleans, or do you if I'm Miami, I'm trading him to Atlanta because Atlanta still stinks right now. Maybe if you can get a solid 2, out of Atlanta.
I don't know. I think Miami is always going to try to convince someone to give them a 1 because he's so young and they spent a top 5 pick on him.
See, if I'm Tua, though, I don't want to go to the Vikings. I mean, granted, yeah, you've got an amazing running back there in Minnesota, but do you really want to play in Southern Canada? I don't want to play in Southern Canada. My God, poor Tua. We wouldn't know what to do. Poor Tua would not know what to do in that cold of climate.
Hawaiian-born boy who played in Alabama, who got drafted by Miami, all of a sudden has to play in one of the coldest states in the union.
Yeah, that's not happening. I honestly would see.
Granted, he's indoors, but it would be hell for him the other 6 days of the week.
I would see either Atlanta or I think Atlanta would be a good spot for him. I mean, and the thing is, Trey's making some great points there. Yeah, he's playing in a dome, and he'll have some amazing pieces around him. But have you ever been to Minnesota in the wintertime?
Also, the division he plays in, which I mean is a pretty weak division, but you'd have to pay outside in Green Bay and Chicago.
And in Chicago. Now, I'll go. You know what? I'd go to Atlanta. Yo, you got Pitts to throw.
Also, I don't trust the Vikings. It's like the Vikings are always such a weird team, and it's because they haven't had consistent quarterback play. Right. And I think
if you're a Third Street Saint, yeah, purple's a great color. If you're the Third Street Saints. All right, let's move on. So it's the end of an era in Denver as the great Von Miller has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams. The 8-time Pro Bowler is going to the Rams in exchange for a 2nd round and 3rd round pick. That means now that the Rams have Aaron Donald on the line, Jalen Ramsey in the secondary, and now they got Von Miller on the edge.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the Rams might be winning themselves a Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, I have them to win the Super Bowl anyway, but I mean, or at least to get to it. I think they'll probably win it now.
And the Rams are paying $9 million out of Miller's $9.7 million salary.
That's a big plus. That's a big
plus. The Rams do not care. The Rams
they don't care about draft picks. They do not.
They don't care about money. They don't care about draft picks. They're saying, hey, we're going to be picking late anyway.
It's LA, baby. All we need is Super Bowls and we're good.
Seriously.
But, I mean, I feel like Von Miller kind of at the tail end. He's been solid. He's been okay, I guess. You just haven't heard too much of him. And I guess it's just because the Broncos just haven't been, what they were since Peyton retired. Mm-hmm. But I mean, does it move the needle? I'd honestly just have to watch and see. But it's a big, loud pickup. And I think it will help them, but like the degree of the impact, just got to wait and see.
I think that this is going to be big for him. I think he's going to have another 3 or
crisis can happen.
He's going to have another
to anyone.
Damn it.
And though it may seem like a small barrier,
effing stuff. You know what? I mean, here's the way I'm looking at it, to be quite honest.
He does already have 4.5 sacks this year, so that is
Von Miller. The thing is that at this point, the Broncos haven't really been showing too much, and he's almost in a lot of ways had to carry that defense on his own. I mean, yeah, you got Pat Surtain II, but he's just a rookie. He's doing the best that he can. He's still learning the system. I think now he's gonna have Jalen Ramsey behind him, and he's gonna have the monster and Aaron Donald in front of him. Von Miller is going to have a resurgence. I think this is going to be
Von
a career.
Will get a lot of one-on-one matchups because Donald alone will suck in 3 linemen.
Yo, Aaron Donald throws offensive linemen for fun. I think it's because I have sources, J-Law. I have sources. I know people that know people that know people that know people. I heard there's going to be an Olympic event called lineman toss. And I heard through the grapevine that Aaron Donald has won the gold medal 10 years running.
It's like on Wolf of Wall Street where they do dwarf tossing. You just give Donald a just regular sized human being, and he tosses them.
Pretty much. Like, I heard Aaron Donald could throw a full-grown man with a tight spiral. Seriously, I heard this. I know people that know people.
Right over those mountains.
Right. Dude, he makes Uncle Rico look like he's not a quarterback.
I know, right?
I know. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show. We're going to talk a little bit more about the NFL trade deadline. OBJ's old man throwing some shade at Baker Mayfield. We're also going to talk a little bit about the NFL head coaches that are on the hot seat right about now. Packers with a major league release. Do you want to go through? You want to run? Matter of fact, do you want to run through the scores of this past week, or do you want to just start picking for next week before we go to NBA?
We can just start picking before next week.
All right, we'll pick. Because I figure, at this point, if we're going to be doing like scores and whatnot, we should like lead with that. Anywho, we'll be back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show. We're broadcasting live exclusively on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/VendettaSportsMedia. For those of you that are listening after the fact, and if you want to catch us live, if you come in on Twitch, leave your comments. We'll read your comments on the air. No big deal on that, for sure. Hey, I heard Courtney be throwing elbows on people. Matter of fact, I heard one time Courtney went up for a pass. She not only mossed a dude, but she hit a dude right in his freaking esophagus on the way down and then took it to the house for 90 yards. And she wasn't even playing football. But we'll be back on the Tanndemonium Sports Show, a part of Vendetta Sports Media Podcast and Network. We'll be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. In case you hadn't heard, your favorite Renegade Sports Media Group has its own Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media to support our efforts to continuously bring you sports, gaming, and other media coverage as only we can. We've got 4 different membership tiers. For $3 a month, we'll give you a simple thank you on our Patreon site. For $6 a month, you get a thank you, and you get to become a recruit in Jackson Law's Vendetta University Gaming Series. For $10 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, a special thank you at the end of our videos, free access to our upcoming Discord chat, and a free koozie after 4 months. And then the big dog, $50 a month, gets you everything from the previous tiers, as well as opportunities for Fantasy League invites, stream gaming, possible invites to mock NFL and NBA draft sessions, a once-a-month Google Hangout, and after 4 months, a free t-shirt. Yeah! Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media and help us to improve our pledge to bring you the best sports, gaming, and other media coverage.
You know what, Jackson? I love these Courtney jokes so much. It reminds me of the Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah.
So you know what I heard, Jackson?
What?
I heard Courtney got a hole-in-one on a par 6.
That's impressive.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Do they have par 6 holes?
You know what? I honestly think they do. I think they do. I would not be surprised.
You know what? I heard, because of her namesake, I heard Courtney Plummer unplugs clogged drains just by glaring at the faucet. One time Courtney Plummer stopped an alien invasion just by looking up at the sky and taking off her do-rag and taking out her earrings. Don't make me get upset. Courtney kicked Superman and Batman out of the Justice League. But you know who I think that Odell Beckham Sr. wishes that I just messed that whole sort of lead in. And you know who I bet wishes that Courtney Plummer was the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns? Odell Beckham Sr., because I'm pretty sure she could just look the ball into OBJ's one hand. Because he's feeling a little bit bent out of shape toward Baker Mayfield. Apparently, his father posted a video early Tuesday showing how many times Baker Mayfield didn't throw the ball to Beckham when he was open. And his father responded to comments saying, quote, he's either hating on Odell or he just don't want him shining, end quote. OBJ only had one catch for 6 yards on Sunday's 15-10 loss to the Steelers.
I mean, here's something interesting. It's kind of a wake-up call for Odell's father. Baker's numbers are better when Odell doesn't play, because I think.
So you're saying Odell is like he is to Baker Mayfield what Antonio Brown was to Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah, well, I think it was just because Odell is such a diva that Baker felt like he had to force the ball to Odell. And then Baker's numbers did get a little better when Odell was down and he was just kind of letting it fly. Now, I don't hate Baker. I don't love him. I don't hate him.
I don't love him. I don't hate him. He's just there.
Yeah, he's a quarterback in the NFL. You know,
here's my thing though. Here's my thing though. The Browns receivers let him down. They let him down. I mean, especially your boy Jarvis Landry. Yo, when the ball goes to your hand, you're supposed to come down with it. That's just the rule. That's the whole. If you can't catch, then you need to go into the other side of the ball, because the only difference between a wide receiver and a cornerback is that the wide receiver actually catches the damn ball. If all cornerbacks would catch, they'd be wide receivers. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
So my thing is this. All right, so OBJ is open. Come on. Number one, Baker's playing with a torn shoulder. I guarantee you he got the needle during halftime. I guarantee you he got the needle during halftime.
He got some of that good.
Oh, absolutely. And Trey's right. The Browns are way too loaded top to bottom to be as bad as they are.
Yeah, they kind of suck right now.
I mean, you lose to a team when you knock out their place kicker with a helmet to helmet. Yo.
You lose a game to a team without no kicker.
I'm serious. I mean, wow. But I'm not homering because somebody made a point to try to accuse me of being a homer. I'm not mentioning any names about Trey Daubert, but I would like to say that my journalistic integrity, or whatever it is that I have for you doing this show, I am not a homer. I do kind of wish we had JT on this week, because I'd love to talk to Josh Taylor about that, but it is what it is. But I mean, listen, I'm surprised that OBJ wasn't dealt at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
because I've been seeing a lot of rumors that he was going to be getting traded, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some stuff today on Twitter too, and the reasoning that I saw why he wasn't traded is because the Browns still have hope that he could be a big part of their offense, but I don't know. He's such a diva and a drama queen. It's just like,
yeah, but what NFL wide receiver isn't? I mean,
there's
for real.
Some.
No, that's what the wide receiver. You know what? The biggest divas in by position: wide receiver, quarterback. Well, not so much quarterback, because the quarterbacks actually got to study. They got to do way too much studying to be deep. So wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker, running back. In that order.
Pretty deep-ish.
But it is what it is. Yeah, and I mean, Trey's right. Julio Jones is a consummate professional. He's one of the exceptions to the rule. Tight ends are starting to get – there are some tight ends that are starting to get to that point too, because tight end is starting to become a major league position.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. I will homer this fact. Man, Pat Freiermuth is the truth. Did you watch the playback on that touchdown catch he had?
I didn't.
Did you see that?
I did not see it.
I'm disappointed in you. Just because your team sucks don't mean you don't have to give my team some love. Pat Freiermuth had a great catch. Yo, that was a wide receiver like catch. Like he has the defender is on him like stink on deuce. Not only does he get his feet down, but the ball hits his hands. He juggles it, keeps his feet in bounds, and just grips it out of air. Touchdown. I haven't seen a good toe tap like that since Santonio Holmes.
Oh, another professional.
Josh Taylor got mad. Josh Taylor got mad at Trey for saying, because here's the thing, Trey. Here's something you got to understand in Pittsburgh. We don't play around with our Heath Miller. Heath Miller is Heath. You don't ever do that. Why don't you just go? Why don't you just say that Josh Taylor's mama can't cook? For real.
Mike Evans is another non-diva. Really,
he is. You know what? That is true. I mean, Mike Evans, because he could be anywhere else making a hand over fist.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing that like Brady, Arians, and all of his teammates talk about is like he is not paid for the skill level that he has. He has left a lot of money on the table so people can come back and stay.
Hey, everyone should be him. All right, let's talk about people that they're on the hot seat. A lot of NFL GMs got Courtney Plummer gaze on these NFL head coaches' chairs.
They see her in their nightmares.
Oh, they're seriously getting a picture of Courtney with like the angry face, the business face, and they're like these coaches are walking in their office like, oh, whew, I thought she was really here.
Got a few riders on the hot seat.
We're about to have another Vendetta. We're about to have another Vendetta. A Vendetta Survivor.
It's been a while since we've had a Survivor.
It's been a while, yeah. Well, because Trey's been in a good mood. He's been in a good mood in Vegas.
Well, he was in Vegas, so he was in a good mood. Now he's not in Vegas. So
doing lines off of Vegas girl butt cheeks and whatnot. Getting some of that Vegas weed, doing lines off some Vegas butt. But with that being said, these are the coaches. And this is an article up there. Check it out. Go to VendettaSportsMedia.com. Go to our NFL section. Tanner Pike. Young Mr. Tanner Pike, giving him a shout out. The Pike Man. Or I'm going to start calling him the Fish because, you know, Pike is a fish. So I'm going to start calling him the Fish. So Lil Fish. These are his coaches that could be gone after this year. Number one, Urban Meyer. We've said that especially. I mean, the Jaguars are they're not just a red hot mess. The Jaguars make the Dolphins look like they know what they're doing. Dude, Courtney would murder Chickster in a fight. Like, I'm serious. Like, Chickster's wife would have, Chickster's daughter would have to throw in the towel for him. It would just be that bad.
Throw the damn towel.
Throw the damn towel. Yo, I can just see Courtney right now with Chickster like in the corner, holding him up by his ankle, shaking him for his lunch money. He goes, man, I ain't been in school forever. What you doing?
And Courtney's just, if he dies,
he dies. There's some little Simpsons kid in the background. Stop! He's already dead. Poor Chickster. Yo, I heard Courtney could like beat everyone in Vendetta in a foot race too. I don't know if you heard
Probably.
that. Oh, I'm sure she could.
She could outbench Big Unk.
Oh, I'm sure she could. She dances better than him too.
Oh, absolutely. Guess what, Trey? She got that extra credit, so she's a dance minor.
Oh. Wow, I'm about to throw some shade at Courtney. He's talking about I'm old now. Okay. Yeah. Talk to me when you my age, Courtney. All right. Talk to me when you've been around for longer than only 2 decades. All right. So Matt Nagy is especially on the hot seat right now. Like if anyone's on a hotter seat than Urban Meyer, it definitely needs to be Matt Nagy. He's been there since like he's doing well 3 years ago when that first start in 2018. And then it was just like, meh.
He doesn't know what he's doing. Get him out.
And he's almost getting Justin Fields killed.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I don't know if Justin Fields is going to survive against TJ Watt.
Nagy needs to leave.
He does. Next, your boy Vic Fangio. Fangio. How you say it? Fangio?
Fangio, I believe.
Yeah. Apparently he's on the hot seat too. Now, here's the thing. With getting rid of Von Miller, now his defense is weaker. He's supposed to be the defensive guru. Yeah, I think he might be out too.
Yeah,
So-
probably. I mean, he's been their coach for a couple years, and just they haven't done anything. They're not getting better.
If I'm John Elway, I'm calling Eric Bieniemy. I'm serious. I'm gonna be saying Eric Bieniemy is like the coach.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it all depends on if Eric Bieniemy wants to leave. If he doesn't want to leave Kansas City, no one can blame him.
with the way the Chiefs have been playing, man,
might be time
I
for him
want
to go.
out. I want out. So here's honorable mentions for the hot seat. So these are people that are just getting threatened with an angry picture of Courtney. Mike Zimmer. Now he's been the coach of the Vikings for a little while now, and after 8 years, they still haven't taken that next step.
Again, the Vikings, a weird team. Year to year, week to week, I have no idea what I'm getting from them. No idea.
Dude, being a Viking fan has got to be way exciting. Like as exciting as it is to like get that first bikini wax or bungee jumping, or I don't know, finding out that your wife is pregnant and you've been deployed.
That getting the bikini wax and bungee jumping would be comparable in excitement.
Hey man, you never know. Brian Flores is on that honorable mention hot spot. Now, do you think this is more on him or is it on the front office? Or because
what I can gather, he makes a lot of the decisions with Greer. So it's like the two of them are running like this dual dynasty in there. So if one goes, the other one's got to go, I guess.
All right, fair enough.
I think he's fully on the hot seat. I don't know how you can go from 10 wins last season to
this.
Maybe you win 2 or 3.
And you don't even get to reap the rewards of the suckfest either.
Exactly.
Because you're sending that to Philly.
You just gotta hope that heart monitors. Yeah. The African American heart monitor from Family Guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He fine. Oh, he did.
Yeah, that's what mine would say. It'd just be, oh, he did.
He did.
He did.
And then finally, Dan Campbell. Now, this ain't Dan Campbell's fault. Dan Campbell, he had them in the game. He had them in games. And then they went and then Philly showed up. And Philly was like,
senior citizens should have laugh alert. And Dolphins fans.
You know something? All I know is this. How do the hapless Eagles just walk into your home and beat you like that? They beating them like Courtney Plummer beat people for money.
They beat them like little kittens instead of lions.
Seriously. Yo, they seriously went like, I'm sorry, man. The Lions were scarred. No, the Eagles were the wildebeest and the Lions were Mufasa. And they just ran him over in a ditch.
Tough.
All right.
Yeah, Dan Campbell just has a really crappy team. I don't think anyone's winning with that team.
I don't think so either. And it's too bad, man, because
they could house Garrett in arm wrestling.
I heard that. I
think Courtney could judo flip Trey and then give him the people's elbow.
Yo, I heard that she like now Kane is Kane on the offensive line or defensive line? It don't matter because Courtney's doing whatever the hell she wants. It doesn't matter what position you play, jabroni. Courtney's raising the people's eyebrow and just bringing the pain. Yo, Courtney's more NYC than anyone on Empire's Finest combined. She's got more Empire State of Mind than all of them combined. All right, let's go through the whole show. Fontenelle. Yo, I heard Courtney was more Italian than Trey could ever hope to be.
Trey's a fake Italian. He's scared. He's pastaphobic. We discussed this on Cheese. He is definitely scared of pasta. He's not allergic, but you throw a noodle at him, he shrieks and he runs away.
He buckles like a belt.
He does.
Oh man, he said ooh carbs.
Ew, carbs.
All right, so we only have a few minutes left. Let's go through these scores and let's do our picks. We got about 10 minutes, so let's do this. All right, so Jets, Colts, Thursday night. The Colts dropped the heartbreaker. They knocked Derrick Henry out for the rest of the year, but in the Jets coming off that upset victory against the Bungles. This is a hard one to call, but you know
Mike
what?
White, QB1 of New York.
So do you think Mike White leads the Jets to a victory to 3-5?
I think the Colts win. That was a heartbreaker for the Colts. It was just a crappy play by Wentz, but it was the worst thing to happen when he threw the interception and it got returned like 2 yards for a pick six. But he was going down and his right arm was covered. So it's like, it's either you get tackled in the end zone for a safety and then the Tennessee gets the ball back with just a minute and a half left, or, you just try to chunk the ball past the line of scrimmage and pray that you don't get called for intentional grounding, or it gets batted down, it gets dropped. But that unfortunately wasn't the case. But then he led a really good drive to tie it up. They just couldn't get it done in OT.
You're right about that.
But give me the Colts on this one.
All right, so you're taking the Colts. All right, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna go with the Colts on this one as well. I think Carson Wentz just beats up on this hapless Jets defense. I think that was just one of those fluke games. I think the Bungles went into it feeling themselves a little bit too much and they got slapped.
Yeah.
All right, so Sunday, 1 p.m. game, Falcons, Saints. Falcons 3-4, Saints 5-2.
Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The quarterback could be Trevor Siemian. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. Honestly, I got to wonder just how well Matt Ryan's hand is going to be after it getting stomped like it did.
That was gross.
That was horrible.
It wasn't his throwing hand.
That's true. That hand looked like Courtney Plummer glared at it and just talked. Yeah. The Von Millerless Denver Broncos take on the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott eats these guys alive.
Yeah, well,
Pat Surtain II gets 1 pick.
I got the Cowboys too. The Cowboys didn't even have Dak this past week, and they still won. They beat the Vikings. So,
yeah, I think that the Cowboys are the truth in that division. They're the only bright spot in that division. Yeah, the Cowboys win this one, and the Broncos are like, good thing we got an extra 2 and 3 coming next year because we suck.
That's bait.
That's right.
Bait.
Panthers, Patriots.
I gotta go Pats here. I have no hope in the Panthers anymore. They've just let me down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, as much as I don't want to give any love to Bill Belichick, Dad Bod, he's still learning, but I think Dad Bod can get it done this time around. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pats on this one. Vikings, Ravens. I gotta go with the Ravens on this because you don't know what you're getting out of the Vikings. And
that's very true.
Lamar Jackson had a really, really good game through the air. The week before, he did amazing. I think, who knows? But the Vikings are just too inconsistent. Too inconsistent for me.
Give me the Ravens.
All right. Battle of Ohio. Browns. Bengals. Who cares?
One of the greatest battles in NFL.
Yeah. You got 2 pretenders in this one.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals too. I think that the Browns got exposed, and let's see if the Bengals can replicate slowing down Nick Chubb. We'll see. And that doesn't surprise me if Baker's shoulder almost falls completely off in this game. Bills, Jaguars, I'm not even going to justify that. Anyone that picks the Jaguars is an idiot.
The only thing that makes you think is, do the Bills cover? That's the only question you have to ask. It's not if the Bills win. It's, do the Bills cover?
If they want to. Battle of the Irrelevance. Texans, Dolphins. 1-7 versus
Pass.
1-7.
Pass.
Yeah.
The Dolphins
Fair
are
enough.
probably going to lose.
Most likely. Somehow they're both going to lose.
Oh, that happens when they tie. They'll tie.
Yeah, no, they're going to tie. It's going to be so crappy. Like Tua's going to be like, well, I'm not even going to bother. I'm out of here. Raiders, Giants. I'm going with the Raiders on this one. Raiders.
They've been playing well ever since Gruden left. Not a coincidence. They're going to keep doing it.
The Giants are just they're hot poop, man.
The G-men are sad.
Chargers, Eagles. I don't see the Eagles replicating what they did in Detroit. I think the Chargers are going to be coming around. They're going to be flying cross country, but it's a 4 p.m. game, not a 1 o'clock game for the East Coast. So I don't think that matters. I think Joey Bosa puts a hurting on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
Packers, Chiefs. A replay of Super Bowl I. Chiefs barely eked one out against the Giants this time around. I think Aaron Rodgers goes into Arrowhead and puts on a clinic.
In a repeat of Super Bowl I, I've got the Packers.
Absolutely. Cardinals, Niners. Cardinals all day, every day on this one, I think. Titans, Rams. This game looks good on paper. It looks real good on paper.
How much do we believe in Adrian Peterson being the old Adrian Peterson in this offense?
Not much. Plus, I think Von Miller is going to be having him some Ryan Tannehill for dinner. I'm going for the Rams on this one.
Rams, yep, definitely.
And then the Monday night game. Steelers.
Gross.
Bears. No, that was a nice Justin Fields they had once there in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, he played well against.
He played very well. He played very, very well.
Their defense just is not great.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, number one, how do you have Khalil Mack on your defense and not be any good? For one. For two, that offense, I mean, honestly, I don't see the Bears winning this at all. I see the Steelers. The Steelers have the Bears and the Lions coming up. The Steelers are going to be playing with something to prove. I got the Steelers in this one by a country mile.
Yeah, I got the Steelers. I think it'll be closer, but I'll still take the Steelers.
All right, fair enough. With that in mind, we're going to take a break to go into our final segment here. We're going to be talking some NBA, and let's see if we can do a little bit of discussion because there's a little thing going on now called the World Series. I guess you've heard of that. It's a bit of a big deal. It's a bit of a big deal. I don't know. That's debatable. That's debatable. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, we'll be back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show. We're broadcasting live here on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/VendettaSportsMedia. We are a proud part of the Vendetta Sports Media podcasting network. We'll be back for our final segment.
The following broadcast is brought to you in association by XP Coffee Company. XP Coffee Company is the fresh brewed coffee made for gamers by gamers. Get amazing flavors like Choco Loco in 8, 12, or 16-ounce bags. Or level up and get Illusion, Isolation, Nightmare, or the Majestic Throne blends in light, medium, or dark roast in whole bean, coarse French press, drip, or fine espresso in 12-ounce, 16-ounce, or 2-pound bags. Wow! Shipping worldwide. If you're in the U.S., go to usa.xpcoffee.co. If you're in Europe or in the UK, go to www.xpcoffee.co. XP Coffee Company, for gamers, by gamers.
All right, we're back for our final segment here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live exclusively on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/VendettaSportsMedia. Make sure you follow us all over social media. Follow us on Twitter at media_vendetta, Vendetta Sports Media on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. Follow us. Absolutely. Not to mention the fact that you can also, and I definitely got to give this shout out here, if you're all into the betting thing, because tonight at 8:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, game 6 of the World Series in Houston, Atlanta Astros. If you want to get a bet going on, there's still time. Go to monkeyknifefight.com. Enter our promo code Vendetta if it's your very first time playing the game there. And they will match you dollar for dollar up to $100 for your very first deposit. Make sure monkeyknifefight.com or download the mobile app. Jackson and I cannot partake at this point in time, but one day when our respective states get their heads out of their asses, we will be able to. Speaking of the World Series, tonight is a World Series game 6, Braves hold a 3-2 lead. Have you been paying attention to the World Series at all, Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't really gotten to watch any of the games, but
Me either.
I've kind of been rooting for Atlanta just because my grandpa's a big Braves fan. So
I kind of want the Astros to win because I'm sick of all the people, the diehard super conservatives that are like, if the Braves win, it's a slap in your face to Rob Manfred. So that's the only reason why I want the Braves to lose. That and the fact that I have a long memory of when they kept breaking the Pirates' heart back in the early 90s. So it's one part political, one part, fandom. So do I really like the Astros? No, not really. Honestly, I have no real. The Pirates have essentially killed my love for the game of baseball. But I do play ML. I'm still playing MLB The Show. So with that being said, definitely. I might try to check out Game 6. I'm going to see if I can check out Game 6. Although, if the Astros were to put Courtney Plummer on the mound, that's a guaranteed no-hitter. Guaranteed.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to some NBA. To finish this out, get into Jackson Super Sport here. So, apparently free throws are down for some of the stars. There's some changes in the officiating. Jackson, have you seen this?
Yes. Suck it, James Harden. Cry about it some more, you big baby. Go wipe your tears with your millions of dollars while you have strippers dancing around you at the club. I can care less about your feelings, dude. Like I am happy about this. That's bait. How are the Celtics doing, Trey? You still think they're going to get Bradley Beal? With their 2 wins that they have so far to start the season. But anyway,
Trey Young doing some whining too.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Trey Young was crying. Yeah, no. But see, here's the thing too. It is there's other players that are thriving right now, and it doesn't matter because they weren't reliant on free throws to carry. James Harden could have a terrible shooting night, but still score 35, 40 points because he's going to the free throw line 17, 18 times a game.
Right.
Now, he did have one of those games the other day. He shot 17 free throws or something like that. And guess what? The Nets were pretty dominant. But I think the refs have done a pretty good job. I think the refs are really letting teams play a lot more. And I'm more okay with that. There are some times where I see a foul where I'm like, why was that not called a foul? But it's those types of calls not being called fouls are being called a bit more consistently. So it looks more like it's intentional. They're trying not to call that instead of refs are just being idiots about it. Right. But I mean, you still have lots of whining and complaining. There are still a lot of fouls and there are still a lot of free throws being called. I think because what's happening right now, and I've been seeing some tweets about it recently, as recently as right before the show was starting, is the competition committee is now discussing what to do about these breakaway fouls where you just foul someone on a fast break. Where it's not like an open path foul, which is usually a free throw and the ball. It's kind of like a technical foul, but it's not like a technical per se. You're not you're the only penalization.
It's a kind of a foul.
Yeah. Well, it is a foul. The only penalization is the other team gets a free throw and they get the ball back. You could do that 5 times in a game if you wanted to, and you're not going to get punished except for the fact that the other team basically gets 5 free points. But they're looking at that because there's a lot of those each and every game. And I think that kind of drives up the foul numbers per quarter. So when the real fouls come in, teams are already pushing into the bonus and get into the bonus. And teams are getting into the bonus now. There's I've seen games where it's 5-6 minutes left in the quarter and a team is already in the bonus. And it is tough to play 5 minutes of perfect defense. That's not the case. Even if it's just like small hand checks or running over someone or an over the back call, that's still free throws. So I feel like that's what's happening here. And then of course you have the legitimate fouls, also the legitimate shooting fouls too. But they can just cry about it, man. I don't care. I don't feel pity. If that's what you rely on to be successful in this league, then you don't deserve to be considered one of the top players in the league. If you are relying on these cheap tactics to dance around rules and take advantage of the rules to get an edge, you don't deserve to be considered that. James Harden, you're being outscored and outplayed by dudes that literally make a single-digit % fraction of what you make in their entire year's contract and what you make in a game. Okay, so you ain't wrong. Trae Young. I like Luka, but he got a little bit complaining and a little bit into this. He needs to learn to adjust to it. They need to learn to adjust, or they can just fade away. I don't care.
That's been my main complaint against the modern NBA, especially because, you know, I like it where you could play a physical game of basketball, a good, clean, physical, hard game of basketball. Yeah, I don't like this whole running to the free throw line every like 5 seconds. It's stupid and it slows up the game.
And the games have been going a little bit quicker, it feels like, too.
Yeah, I got to say,
and like I said, I saw where someone was like they were averaging out all the games and the free throws are still on par. So it hasn't done anything necessarily to the free throws, but it's just it's the fouls that you hate. There's a difference between a team that has no discipline on defense and keeps fouling on shots than Trae Young sitting in the middle of the lane and jumping sideways, backwards, and shooting with his left hand when he's a right-handed shooter and that's not his natural shooting motion.
Right.
Or like James Harden, the thing that he always did, and I hated it, and it's been so funny to watch him cry about this, is when a defender is stepping and he has his hands out, Harden with his left hand, because he is a left-handed shooter, will reach up with his left arm and grab the defender's arm and then go up and like flail.
What?
Like he got fouled. That's literally how he always got to the line, and they always called it a shooting foul because he's a left-handed shooter, and that's like his shooting motion. It was the stupidest thing. He always wrapped his arms around a defender's arms and tried to go up for a shot, and obviously they're going to call a foul because there's a ton of contact. Right. They haven't been calling it, and it has been beautiful. Thank you, NBA, for continuing to set the standard on how to Adam Silver for being a good commissioner for your players and looking out for the well-being of your players and actually listening to them as he has over the past couple years, especially when it has come to social justice issues. And then thank you for the competition committee for actually looking into these problems and listening to the fans of the NBA who pay for every single employee of the National Basketball Association, from Commissioner Silver to the players, to the execs in the front offices, to the owners, to the guy that sweeps the offices and cleans the bathrooms at NBA headquarters. We pay all of their salaries with our time to watch the games, to create the demand for what they charge for ESPN, TNT to hold the games. And then, of course, us actually going to the games, buying the merchandise and everything. Thank you for listening.
I love hearing
so much better to watch now.
I love hearing you get all riled up when it comes to the NBA.
Dude, I love it. Screw Harden, screw Trae Young.
I'm actually looking up the price of the NBA League Pass. I'm actually thinking about giving it a try.
If you got a VPN, just pirate it.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to tell me how to do that.
I'll send you the website I normally go to. Just, obviously use common sense and not click on anything dumb.
Fair enough. All right, cool. All right, so moving on, as Jackson was going off, the Golden State Warrior security guard Jonathan Amy Jr. gets a G League tryout.
Hey, kudos.
Hey man, that, you know what that is to me? That's a honestly, I really hope I hope he does really, really good. And then, because that's one of those stories that they make
some
movies
garbage
about.
time minutes in the NBA, like 5 minutes in a blowout.
Yo, I want him to be like Rudy. I want them to have a movie called John. And it's about him just doing all he can to play basketball, but no one will let him play. So he loves basketball so much.
No, it's called guarding the paint or guarding the perimeter. So something that involves the word guarding and guard.
I like that.
Because he's a security guard.
I like that. And then he gets that one shot. I like that. Why aren't you working in Hollywood, J-Law?
I don't know, man.
So I'm all for
LA now.
Lamarcus Aldridge becomes a 48th player in NBA history to score 20,000 points. So he's the 7th active player to reach that milestone, joining LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and CP3. Congratulations to Lamarcus Aldridge.
Yeah. I mean, and he came out of retirement too, so he never would have gotten this if he hadn't, which is kind of surprising that he was so close. I didn't realize he was this close because he retired, he unretired, came back, and then in 2 weeks reaches the 20K milestone. And it's not like he's scoring at a high clip right now. I'll tell you that much.
Can I just say right now that I'm so sick of hearing about Russell Westbrook, for one. The guy's, I can't stand him. The guy, him and James Harden both, I've never been fans of theirs at all. These are score first guys. They just, you use your team, dude. And didn't I say when the Lakers brought him onto the team, I'm like, that's not going to do anything. If anything, that's just going to make things worse.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people that joined the two of us in saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing perks you.
And I'll tell you, nothing makes me happier than to find Russell Westbrook is never going to be anything more than this me first, gimme player. And it's just trashed. That's not what wins championships. That's not what establishes a legacy. But apparently the Bleacher Report gave Anthony Davis a relatively low ranking at center. So
I mean, the Lakers have been very disappointing this year. There's no way around it. Barely beat the Grizzlies. They blew I think it was a 19-point lead, something like that, to OKC. And OKC is, listen, I've had some great interactions with OKC fans on Twitter over the past few days because of a video I put out.
Mm-hmm.
But OKC does not have that great of a team. I like some of their players. I love SGA. But they just don't have a great team.
Carmelo
isn't getting a ring.
Melo ain't getting no ring. Nope. But I do want to say, But what I do want to say, remember when we were talking about the Bulls and Trey was like, "Oh, they're going to be garbage. They're going to suck. They're going to stink."
Bulls are good. They're doing
6-1,
better than what I was expecting them to be. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't think they'd be this good right now.
I mean, here's the thing: they're 6-1. Granted, we're not even double digits into the season yet. I get it, but for now, dude, they're the top. They're it. I will talk to you in May. I'll be expecting a bonus for my birthday. How about that?
We'll talk to you at the trade deadline when Washington has traded Bradley Beal to the Celtics. Okay, that's when we'll talk to you, Trey.
But hey, the Bulls are doing really, really well, and I'm pretty happy about that. The Bucks having that NBA championship hangover, but they're going to turn it around easily.
Jason Tatum is selling. Courtney is 100% right, and man, I could talk about the Celtics for a little bit too, because Marcus Smart called out Tatum and Brown, telling how selfish they are.
Ooh.
Okay, so Trey, I'll trade you DeAnthony Melton and Tyus Jones for Jason Tatum. Get you some of that ball movement that you so desperately want. We'll make that trade happen. Okay. We will take on the burden. The Grizzlies will take on the burden of having Jason Tatum on our roster.
Ooh.
Grizzlies got cap room. Grizzlies got cap room.
Dirty.
Grizz got cap.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you need a center. You can have Steven Adams. There you go. That'll make contracts match.
Here's my thing. I can't really talk much to the NBA because I've been focusing more on the NFL right now. And with going for this when this master's degree is done, I'll have so much more time for stuff. It'll be great. I'll love it. But I will say this, I'm seriously going to start getting into some more NBA, because now that they're not calling, you know what? I've actually been contemplating going for my doctorate. So folks got to call me doctor.
Tan.
Oh, and I'll tell them too. If someone comes up to me, oh, Mr. Tan, it's Dr. Tan.
Dr. Tan.
Like, I will be that guy. I will be that guy. Here's the thing, man. Since I started going for my master's, I realized I have a much fonder appreciation for people with doctorates. Man, you work your ass off trying to get this education. You making all kinds of sacrifice to get your learning on. Yo, you gonna recognize what I went through to get this. Matter of fact, I don't know what little whatever letters I get to have at the end of my name for getting my master's degree, but I'm going to sign my name, Bryan Tan, and put my master's degree letters at the end.
Yeah.
Why? Because I earned it.
And Trey, I do apologize for this. Melton and Tyus Jones for Jason Tatum is $6 million short. So to make up for the sum, I threw in Jarrett Culver. It works in the trade machine. So there we go. That's the deal right there.
We could
Melton,
also just have
Jones and Culver for Tatum.
Could also just have Courtney just glare at the salary cap and make it go to what works for you.
Exactly. No, the salary cap will disappear. There'll be no salary cap.
Oh,
Courtney, I know it is.
Terrible.
But no, that's the type of stuff that Trey does all the time. He's like, oh, Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing bad. We'll give you who's a terrible, like, he's like, no, Aaron Naismith for like Jaren Jackson or something like that. That's what he says.
Oh man, Trey would be the most hilarious GM in all of sports, just because of the fact that like any of the players say something he don't like, he's just shipping them out of town. It's like, you're gone. You're just gone. You're gone. You're gone. You stink. You're fired.
Stinks.
But I'm looking at the divisions here. The New York Basketball Knicks at a 5-2 record. That's not bad for them. They're usually out of it by now.
Yeah, the Knickerbockers are playing well.
Yeah, the Sixers doing relatively well despite the drama going on with them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's brand new. It's a super, super, super early season, but hey, I'm liking the way things are looking so far.
Hey, again, people called me crazy for saying Washington was going to be pretty good this year. They're 5-2 right now.
Oh, and by the way, Jackson Law was joking when he said pirate the game. He wasn't serious. All right, 100%. So settle down. Any powers that be that might be watching this, it was a joke. It was a joke. God. Or was it? It was a joke. Those were jokes. All right.
Get a sense of humor, people.
Seriously. Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop.
Stop.
Oh man. So this is going to be a decent enough week. We got the World Series tonight, Game 6 of the World Series tonight. NBA is going strong, and pretty interesting slate on the NBA, on the NFL this Sunday. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I won't be live streaming until next Monday night. You might be without me on Sunday. We're actually going to have a date day because we never usually get to do that.
Yeah. Well, we're not in the Twitch sports thing anymore. Apparently it was just a 3-month contract. So I'm probably not going to do the Sunday thing anymore.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. That sucks. Okay then. But so with that being said, hey, it's been an interesting time to be a sports fan, and I have nothing else that I really, really, really want to fuss about except Melvin Ingram's a goofball. But hey, here's hoping that maybe, just maybe, he can help that woeful Kansas City Chiefs defense do better.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
It's pretty sad. But I seriously think Melvin Ingram is a couple years late to the party. I think his best years behind him. But with that being said, make sure you check us out on social media. Go to @media_vendetta on Twitter, Vendetta Sports Media, wherever else you get your social media. Follow us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media. start, getting into our tiers. Help us out. Help us to bring the best that we can bring you every single week. Well, every day, actually, because we're always doing news stories. This show's going on the weekly. You got Empire's Finest. You got the fantasy show. You got some great content coming. So help us keep bringing you content and help us bring you better content and more content. You can follow Jackson Law at JLaw1995 on the Twitterverse. Follow me at Tanndemonium VSM. That is the official show page. And if you want to see other stuff that I'm doing on social media on Twitter, then you can follow me at Bryan Tan Author. At least I think that's what it is. Yeah, at Bryan Tan Author. I have so many different handles. With that being said, hopefully next week we have Josh Taylor on because he usually comes on the second Tuesday of the month. Hopefully we can get him on next week. We can talk some football, and I can further show Trey that he cannot steal my friend because Josh Taylor's my friend. Remember that. That being said, Courtney Plummer, if you feel the back of your neck spontaneously combust, that means that she hates you. That's Jefferson Legal. I'm Bryan Tan, the Tannimo himself. This is the Tanndemonium Sports Show. We'll see you next week.